This is an experienced officer who followed his training and
Fucking bitch.
Professional? Kristi Noem just told the country that man was a professional following his training. But we just heard the audio. That wasn't an officer de-escalating a threat. That was a man screaming a slur at a woman he had just mortally wounded. I have a question for the secretary. On which page of the federal training manual do they teach agents to scream slurs at a dying woman? Welcome all to Liberated Minds. Usually I'd start with the headlines, but today we have to start with the lie. Because if the Secretary of Homeland Security thinks that is what professionalism sounds like, then we aren't just dealing with a rogue agent, we are dealing with a rogue government. To understand the lie, you have to know the truth about the victim. They want you to think this was a dangerous criminal. Her name was Renee Good. She was a 37-year-old mother, and she wasn't a criminal, she was a legal observer. She was sitting in her car on 34th Street specifically to film ICE agents conducting a raid. The narrative is that she had weaponized her vehicle. But look at the tape again.
No!
Those are brake lights. She wasn't driving at them, she was trying to retreat. The agent, Jonathan Ross, walked towards the car.
No!
He wasn't trapped, he was angry.
No!
And here's the detail that keeps me up at night. We have audio from the inside of the car seconds before Agent Ross fired 4 shots through her window. Renee Good looked him in the eye and said, "I'm not mad at you." She was de-escalating him, and he killed her for it.
Renee Good's last words.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
The agent who appears to be...
She was de-escalating him, and he killed her for it. Now remember what Kristi Noem said. She said he followed his training. You know what? She is absolutely right. I pulled the federal manuals. They don't teach de-escalation. They teach dominance. They teach agents that hesitation is death. So when Jonathan Ross saw a woman refusing to bow down, his training didn't tell him to walk away. It told him to neutralize the threat to his authority. ICE Detention Standards 2019, Section 2.8. Force is defined as the physical actions necessary to overcome resistance, to gain control, contain, or restrain a detainee. Within Standards and Procedures of Section 2.8, A. Principles governing the use of force and application of restraints, under no circumstances shall force be used to punish a detainee. And that is exactly what Jonathan Ross did to Renee Good. He punished her for not cooperating. Staff should always attempt to gain the detainee's willing cooperation in a language or manner that the detainee understands before using force. Staff shall only use that amount of force necessary to gain control of the detainee. The final procedure states immediate use of restraints is warranted to prevent the detainee from harming self or others. However, if you look back through all of this and realize Renee Good was not a detainee. She was not who the ICE agents were after. They only came after her for videotaping them. And obstructing justice with quotation marks. But as again, seen from the footage, she was hitting the brakes. She was trying to retreat. She wanted nothing to do with these ICE officers. But they wanted a lot to do with her. We now know that ICE and Border Patrol have previously slashed training cycles down to just 47 days to rush recruits into the field. Think about that. 7 weeks. Look at the rules they are sworn to follow. Section 2.8 mandates they use psychology to gain willing cooperation. It mandates cultural competency to bridge language barriers. It requires the patience to distinguish between a threat and a terrified mother. These are high-level skills. They take months, if not years, to master. When you cram that education into 47 days, you aren't teaching officers how to de-escalate, you are just teaching them how to reload. So when Agent Ross walked up to that car, he didn't have the tools to handle a non-compliant civilian. The academy didn't give him the time to learn them. The only tool they gave him time to master was dominance. Kristi Noem is right about one thing. He followed his training, but she left out the most important part. The training itself is negligent. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and share to spread the word of democracy. Thank you.